Influent ist versible. If it is not versible, you will be shut and down, you swinehund. Let's read. Influent is a language learning game focusing primarily on vocabulary acquisition and pronunciation, while giving players the freedom to learn what they want without pencils or books. See guys, this is the fucking trouble now with schools and everything else. You know, let's learn without pencils or books. No! Get your fucking pencils and your fucking books. You know what? My son's at school. Do you know what? He writes like a drunken spider on acid. He does. It's fucking awful. You would think a spider had dipped its fucking legs in an inkwell and ran across his page. They have interactive whiteboards, guys, with printers attached to them, so they can just sit texting each other on their fucking iPhones while the teacher prints it all off for them and gives. No wonder the come out of school like fucking morons. Can't read, can't write, can't do fuck all, but can pass an exam only because they get all the exam papers fucking handed to them and say, oh, by the way, you're getting your final exam next week. There's the exam paper from last term. Just memorise it. Just be the same. Oh, honestly, fuck off. Mack, what's that got to do with this? Influent, guys, is a learning game. You are locked in a house with hundreds of objects, and as you go around and mouse over these objects and click on them, you will get to know what these words are, what these words mean. You learn about the pronunciations of the words, though it doesn't construct them into sentences. There's little mini games where it will test you by saying le bouc, and you have to go and find obviously the pencil sharpener. It's really, really good in that sense. If you have no idea of a language, then this game is good. If you are sort of already learning a language, I'm not sure how much you're going to get out of this, because it is pretty basic in that sense. I was gifted this because I always break out into German accents, and someone gifted me the German accent version of this, and obviously after Secure Spirit I was given the fucking Japanese version, wasn't I? So I did a couple of videos on Mack's Corner which ended up just being hilarious, to be honest. I'm putting the links in the description of this video if you want to go and watch them. Me learning German and Japanese. If I was going to France, for example, on a holiday, I mean, I know French anyway. I speak fluent French. Bonjour, je m'appelle Mack. Mack, that's all you know. That's not fluent. Alright, I know 2 sentences. Alright? Hello, my name is Mack. That's it. Alright, I didn't stick in. My French teacher was called Jack Fletcher. He was soft as shite, and we used to just take the piss out of him all lesson. And he would give us the blackboard rubber. He used to panic and he would just bring us out, and we used to try and set a new school record for how many blackboard rubbers we could get dished out in a 35-minute lesson, and we broke the school record with 57. Yes, 57 blackboard rubbers were dished out in one 35 period. I got 14 of the All I did was make a paper aeroplane and throw it at the teacher while doing daka 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 while he was sitting marking homework from last week at his desk. That's why I failed French, guys. But anyway, what's that got to do with? I don't know what that's got to do with anything. That's just a blast from the past. But yeah, if I was going to learn, say, French, I'd probably pick this up, because it would tell me it'll tell me a few hundred items in French, which you could memorise, and it would help you when you're going out. To be honest, there's loads of different language packs. You get the base game with this, but then you have to buy the DLCs, which are German, Latin, Russian, Italian, Spanish, French, Swedish, Bulgarian, Mandarin, Japanese, and there's an English one for all you foreigners. When you buy the base game, you can choose any language to buy with that. So that's quite a nice touch. The game costs $6.99. The DLCs cost $6.99. Because the world costs $6.99. Everybody costs $6.99. I love $6.99. Forget about the game. There is no game here, guys. The mini games are pretty shit. First or third person, but it just revolves around walking around a house clicking shit. That's pretty much it. And then different ways have been tested on that. What I picked up from playing it was that if I was going to learn a brand new language, this is going to help me. And that's all you need to know, and it doesn't cost the earth. It's probably not the best way to learn a language. There's probably a lot easier ways of learning a language than this, but this is kind of a bit of a fun way of learning a language. Certainly if I had children that was going to go abroad, I'd buy this for them, because it's a fun way for them to play, rather than sticking them in front of a bloody recording and say repeat. Répétez! Répétez! That means repeat in some language. I remember that. It just popped into my head. Répéter, because the only reason I remember répéter was because I remember getting my knuckles rapped by Jack Fletcher. So it was, I think it's French. I remember him hitting me knuckles. I'm getting a flashback from school. I was getting me knuckles. Yeah. Oh my goodness! I had to hand me hands. He would like say me, give me a French saying, and then he'd shout répéter, and if I didn't repeat it properly, he'd whack me knuckles with a ruler. So it's more fun than learning it the way I learned it in Borstal. It wasn't Borstal. It was just an ordinary school. But you see, that was the proper education system. You know, we had it the best, which is why I now do this for a living, and I'm not a solicitor. And on that bombshell of just realising your schooling days were even worse than these ones, I'm going to leave you with Influent. Is it worth a buy? If you're shit at languages, yes it is.
Magu カップ